Hello everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining us in this course. In our last few lessons, we've been learning all about the basics of telling time in German. In this lesson, we're going to have a nice comprehensive review of everything that we've learned about the basics of telling time. And then I'm going to give you the final piece of information at the end of the video. So let's go ahead and get started with our review. To ask the question, what time is it in German, there are two ways that Germans usually ask this question. You can either say literally, how late is it? Wie spät ist es? The word spät means late, so wie spät ist es? What time is it? Or you can ask the question literally, how much hour is it? Wie viel Uhr ist es? Wie viel Uhr ist es? To say it is, the formula is es ist, which literally means it is, es ist. To say it's and a particular time o'clock, just place the number of the time here. So es ist and then followed by the word Uhr. So let's look at some of the examples that we learned. It's 1 o'clock. Instead of saying eins here, eins is 1, you drop the s. So you would say es ist 1 Uhr. This is a little bit of an exception. You just have to memorize that little piece there. Other than that, you just place the number in there. So it's 2 o'clock. The number 2 is zwei. So place it in the formula and you would say es ist 2 Uhr. Es ist 2 Uhr. Pay attention to the pronunciation. Zwei. The Z here is like a TS in English. The W is like a V. Zwei. Zwei. Es ist 2 Uhr. It's 3 o'clock. Es ist 3 Uhr. Okay. Now to add minutes after the hour, you basically use the same formula, es ist Uhr, and then just simply state the minutes afterwards. So if I want to say it's 1:10, I would say es ist 1 Uhr, it's 1, and then just add the number 10, 10. Es ist 1 Uhr 10. Es ist 1 Uhr 10. It's 2:13. Es ist 2 Uhr 13. Es ist 2 Uhr 13. It's 3:25. Es ist 3 Uhr 25. Es ist 3 Uhr 25. Just a reminder here, if you don't know your basic numbers in German, I do have a playlist, so just look under the playlist for numbers from 1 to 100. You can also find them under the shorts videos as well. Okay, so next we learned vor, which indicates minutes before the hour. It literally means before. So if I want to say it's 5 to 2, or literally 5 before 2, I would say es ist 5 vor 2. 5 vor 2. So this first number here is the minutes before the hour. So 5, literally 5 Minuten vor 2. You could say it's 5 minutes to 2. Es ist 5 vor 2. It's 10 to 2. Es ist 10 vor 2. Es ist 10 vor 2. It's 20 to 2. Es ist 20 vor 2. 20 vor 2. Nach means after, so it indicates minutes after the hour. If I want to say it's 5 past 5, or literally 5 after 5, I would say in German, es ist 5 nach 5. 5 after 5, 5 past 5. It's 10 past 5. Es ist 10 nach 5. Es ist 10 nach 5. It's 20 past 5. Es ist 20 nach 5. Es ist 20 nach 5. Viertel vor means a quarter to. Viertel nach means a quarter past. So let's look at some examples. It's a quarter to 3. Es ist Viertel vor 3. Es ist Viertel vor 3. It's a quarter to 4. Es ist Viertel vor 4. Es ist Viertel vor 4. It's a quarter past 5. Es ist Viertel nach 5. Es ist Viertel nach 5. It's a quarter past 10. Es ist Viertel nach 10. Es ist Viertel nach 10. Halb, remember halb means half, and in the context of time, we use halb to mean half an hour before the next hour. So if I want to say it's 3:30, and hopefully you're testing yourself as we go along here. If you can say it before I show it to you, then you've really learned it. You might want to try going back to the beginning and seeing if you can guess all of the answers before I show them to you. And if you can, boy, you've really learned something. So, okay. So it's 3:30. If I want to say it's 3:30, es ist halb vier. Es ist halb vier. It's 5:30. So you literally have to say it is 5:30. Es ist halb sechs. Es ist halb sechs. It's 8:30. Es ist halb neun. Literally, it is 9:30. Okay, the expression it's noon. Es ist Mittag. It's midnight. Es ist Mitternacht. Remember, we learned the equivalent of the AM, PM. Morgens for early in the morning, the early part of the morning. Vormittags when you're closer to noon. For PM, nachmittags for in the afternoon, and for in the evening, abends. So let's look at some examples. So if you want to say it's 9 a.m. as opposed to 9 p.m., you would say es ist 9 Uhr for it's 9, and the a.m. would be morgens, the equivalent of the a.m. Es ist 9 Uhr morgens. If it were 9 in the evening, you would say es ist 9 Uhr abends. Okay, it's 11 a.m. Remember, we're closer to noon, so instead of using morgens, we use vormittags. Es ist 11 Uhr vormittags. So 11 a.m. as opposed to 11 p.m., you would say es ist 11 Uhr abends. It's 3 p.m., 3 in the afternoon, so we would use nachmittags. Es ist 3 Uhr nachmittags. And finally, to say it's 7 p.m. as opposed to a.m., so a.m. you would use morgens, 7 Uhr morgens, but for p.m. you would use abends. So the last one here, es ist 7 Uhr abends. Es ist 7 Uhr abends. Okay, so now we have our new information, the 24-hour clock. This is very important. It's used widely in the German-speaking world. And the 24-hour clock is used, for example, for train schedules, movie listings, official timetables, any type of public announcement about a time. You'll see the 24-hour clock, so you need to know that as well. So from 1 to 12, it's going to be the familiar formula that you already know. It's 1 a.m., es ist 1 Uhr. It's 10 a.m., es ist 10 Uhr. It's 11 a.m., es ist 11 Uhr. It's 12 p.m., es ist 12 Uhr. So after 12 p.m., when you get to 1 p.m., instead of going back to number 1, you go to 13. So 1 p.m. would be es ist 13 Uhr. 2 p.m., you go to 14. So es ist 14 Uhr. 5 p.m., so you have to do a little bit of math if you're not familiar with using the 24-hour. In this case, just add the 5 to the 12 and you have 17. So 5 p.m., es ist 17 Uhr. It's 10 p.m., of course, add the 10 to the 12, so you have 22. So 10 p.m. would be es ist 22 Uhr. So again, remember, you'll see this on train schedules, out in public, movie listings, official timetables, and the times will look something like this. So 1 p.m. would be the 13, usually just with the dot. So this would be 13 Uhr, which is 1 p.m. 2 p.m. 14 Uhr, 3 p.m. 15 Uhr, 4 p.m. 16 Uhr, 5 p.m. 17 Uhr, 6 p.m. 18 Uhr, 7 p.m. 19 Uhr, 8 p.m. 20 Uhr. If you want to ask a question such as what time does the movie begin, in German this would be wie viel Uhr beginnt der Film? Wie viel Uhr beginnt der Film? To answer, if you want to express the idea of at a particular time, we use the word So if I want to say at 10 a.m., I would say 10 Uhr. At 1 p.m., remember and then using the 24-hour clock, so 1 p.m. would be 13, 13 Uhr. At 5 p.m., 17 Uhr. At 10 p.m., 22 Uhr. Okay, everyone. Well, thanks so much for watching. That's it for the basics of telling time. If you found all of this helpful, I would appreciate it very much if you'd give it a like. To continue learning German and go on to the next lesson and the next topic, click on the video that appears here on your screen. See you soon. Bis bald.